Skull, welcome back to Valkyrie's Art Corner. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notification of my new video. Today is going to be more of a little bit of a tutorial on how to paint clouds. I know in pictures and stuff like that, they sometimes have clouds that look really magnificent, really full, and I'm going to show you today how easy it is to actually paint clouds. So what you'll need to do is you need to decide whether or not if you want them at daytime or nighttime, and then select your colors accordingly. So what I did was I wanted to do like a midday sky. So I did only two colors with white and blue. So I'm going to start off painting with a dark blue color to kind of set the tone, because when you look at the sky on a clear day, some parts of it seems a lot darker than others. So that's exactly what I'm going to try to portray here. And since we're not doing any other background, we are going to just cover the whole canvas, ranging from the dark blue to the light blue. And if it seems like your paints are a little bit harder to smear and you want it to go on a little bit smoother, it might take a little bit more time to dry, but you can do a wet on dry technique. So the canvas will actually be dry, whereas your brush will be a little bit wet. And you'll want to do that all the way down. And you can always vary your color, so if you feel like there's not enough dark blue, you can always extend it down. With the paint being wet, you can always blend it in, or you can blend up if you think it's too dark. That's the advantage of doing just a painting like this. And sometimes just going back to the basics is just really, really fun. So as we're making our happy little sky, just blending colors, just mixing them in just like that, and mixing them up, as Stewie says from Family Guy. I was seeing I was having a little bit of difficulty here, so I decided to dip my brush into some water. And what I'm using to blend in the background and everything like that is a flat brush. And then just taking it across, just filling in the white spots that appear on the canvas, and just blending it up. And as you go down, just start gradually adding more and more white, not to the point to where it's like a pure white sky, because then we'll actually lose the cloud color that we're going to be doing. And the colors I'm using is more of like a cerulean blue, but it's a little bit darker. I don't remember the name right offhand for it because the paint container's worn off so much I've used it. And I think it's a cerulean blue. And we're almost done with this. Now, unlike my other paintings, I'm not going to wait for it to dry. I'm actually just going to blast right through it with just it being wet, because it actually helps the clouds blend a little bit better. If you want more of like a wispy cloud, you might want to wait for your painting to dry a little bit. But what I'm going to end up doing is making more of like borderline rainy type clouds, like the ones that have absorbed a little too much water, but not exactly rain clouds just yet. So what you want to do is now pick a brush that's a very rounded tip. So that way you can get more of your swirls in rather than a square one. But make sure you rinse off your other brushes first. But the rounded tip allows you to do better swirls, so you can apply different pressures to it. And I will show you that here when I start to make some clouds. I'm adding more white down because I used a lot of it mixed in with the blue. And then we're going to start swirling on the canvas, and sometimes even tapping it with the tip, because it gives it more of that fluffy look when you do it, and which you'll see here in just a second. So you want to tap and swirl at the same time to get that nice big fluffy cloud that you want. And depending on the size and shape that you want, you can make them bigger or smaller. I'll also be showing you as well how to do like more of like the, I think it's the stratus clouds, where it looks like the way light would reflect on a water, and clouds like that are very similar to water. So we're still doing a circling motion while tapping. And just making sure if we put too much paint onto it, kind of wisping it out a little bit to kind of reflect the clouds, because clouds are just absorbed water that are just kind of collecting into the air. So we're just going to fill that up right here just like that. And then what I'm going to do is kind of tap more white into it to give it more of a reflection off the sunlight, rather than just leaving it kind of blue. Otherwise the clouds look just kind of plain. And as you can tell, our clouds are starting to develop a little bit. And we want to do that all over. And if you get too much of a splotchy look, you can always take your brush back in and swirl it out. That's the advantage of wet paint. And see, that's what I'm doing here, is just kind of smooshing it out a little bit. I didn't like how that one looked. And then we're just going to add one more little cloud there. And clouds can look any way you want. They take any shape, they take any form. So whatever you're happy with, you can just paint it that way. Don't ever let anyone tell you that there's no certain type of cloud, because I can almost guarantee you any kind of shape of cloud that you've ever thought of has been in the sky. And now I'm adding some gray in to give it a little bit of shadow, because these aren't necessarily happy clouds, they're more sad clouds. And then adding some more white over the top of it so the gray is not sticking out too much. Okay, and see, if you wanted to, see how I'm doing that? That's how you would kind of do water. And if it's a little bit too apparent, you can always take your hand over the top of it and smudge it out. And you want to go side to side for your clouds to do more of like those thin stratus clouds. But you want to do the same thing for reflections on water. And then we just go back and build up on the clouds to make them fluffy. And you'll just continue this until you're happy with your painting. And then there was actually something in my painting, so I'm going to get that out. There we go. And we are done here. And this is the finished product. Let me know what you think, and I'll continue to do more of these basic tutorials.